than any other in the world. And
Oh,
by
Freda is excited.
Yeah. It'll be over $400 billion. So we know
Oh, that's Christine. I love it. Okie
than
dokie.
any other in the world.
Perfect. All righty.
Okay.
Okay, everyone. All right. We've got Nilbert on. All right, Nilbert, you are up.
All right. Hey, good morning, everyone. Hi, George. Hi, Adrian. I apologize in advance if my voice may sound a little raspy. I'm kind of on the very tail end of getting over this really bad virus I caught over the last week. So, believe me, I've been on reviving immune therapy and eternal therapy for like how many days? Like triple up, quadruple up, and all that. But so glad to be here and so glad to see all the familiar faces I see on this community. Um, Happy Tuesday, everyone. And so the topic that was on the calendar today was the broad topic of personal development. And so I was thinking, I think it was Sunday. I was thinking, okay, there's so many aspects to personal development. There's so many different things that we can do to really uh, develop, personal development. And basically, so I think I'm just going to start with something that we're all already familiar with. A lot of us probably already know about, know that it's an integral part of what we do. And it's all about mindset. Okay, it's all about mindset. Because for one thing, mindset is something that transcends our industry, right? It's in everything that we do, right? Doesn't matter what we do, doesn't matter what industry you're in, doesn't matter what kind of goal you're setting for yourself. It all starts with mindset. And I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna use one of my other business platforms as an example. I don't know if I think some of you know, but some of you, not all of you, may know that my other business, I'm a licensed firearms instructor here in San Diego. Okay. Um, we're not going to talk about the politics of guns, pro guns or anti guns, or we're not going to go into that. Um, all I can say is that as a licensed firearms instructor with years of training, and what I do is I have a sizable number of clients who want to know how to be responsible gun owners and all that, right? A lot of questions, well, most common questions they ask me is, or actually, let me put it this way: before I even take on a new client, I do a thorough interview with them, right? I kind of find out what their background is. I kind of find out, well, what their motivation is and what drives them, right? But in the end, what I try to get to is that I try to determine if they have the mindset to actually bear the responsibility of owning, a firearm and all that, right? And because I told them, a firearm is just a firearm. It's just a tool like anything else. If you don't have the mindset to be responsible for it and to really be able to, when it comes down to it, to use it, then I told them, don't even go through the process of getting one, because it all comes down to mindset. Okay. And this is an extreme example because this industry is totally opposite or totally so far removed from what we do in the health and wellness industry, right? But again, everything starts with mindset. So, um, now coming to our industry, how many of you here, with, raise of hands, or you can put it in the chat, how many of you here, feel or have, at a certain point in time, as you're, doing three or, previous platforms that you've done, how many here feel that there are times that nothing's working, right? Nothing's working. My prospects are not, I can't get any prospects. I can't get any new leads. Or my team is not moving, right? Or my team is losing focus. How, it happens, right? It happens. It's all part of our industry. It's basically part of everything we do, really. Again, it doesn't matter what the industry, but especially in our industry, okay? And we can have the best resources, we can have the best leaders there are, we can have the best, products and all that, but when those times come, and they always do, right? When those times come, they always do. If you don't have the mindset to really dig deep and keep going, this is the reason why people leave, right? Does that make sense? This is the reason why people decide, you know what, this is not for me. Or you know what, I'm going to do something else, right? Oh, you know what, I'm going to, for whatever, or they just completely give up on the industry, and you know what, this industry doesn't work. That's why you do meet people, prospects. Oh, is that MLM thing? It doesn't work. It doesn't work. The first thing that comes to their mind, it doesn't work, right? And that's because it gets tough. And I think it's perfect that I'm actually doing this topic today because, again, I know I've already mentioned I've had, tough times, but those tough times keep coming back. I'm telling you right now, those tough times keep coming back. And I'm gonna be very raw with you guys. I'm actually at that point where, again, I've asked myself, why am I not moving forward? Or I don't see enough progress, right? With myself, with my team and all that. What am I doing wrong? Right? I ask especially when oh, believe me, when you're actually sick, like you're in bed and you're not really able to do anything, all these thoughts come to you, right? Like I don't know, I don't know why am I still here, right? Sometimes I ask myself that, and you know what? It's okay to ask those questions because, we are, well, for one thing, we're human, right? We're human. We're not, I wish I was, superhuman or whatever, but we're human, and it's natural. It's okay to ask these because this is how we develop our strength, and this is how we develop our mindset. Okay. Let me share my screen with you. I prepared a few slides for you guys about mindset. Okay. So mindset and resilience, and developing the mental strength to succeed. I put this together. I kind of, based on what I've experienced and based on also, pages that I follow, ideas that I get from books and from podcasts. And I think, the few points I put together is going to be relevant. Hopefully it helps, everyone here who may be going through the same thing that I'm going through, or what some of us may be going through. The power of mindset. Okay, your mindset is the one that will determine your success. I 100% fully believe this. Okay, it starts with, if you don't have the right mindset, um, you may be talented, you may have all the resources, but if you don't have the right mindset, the moment things go wrong or the moment things go tough, it'll be very hard for you to keep going, right? So you definitely have to have mindset. That will be the one to determine your success. And there's two types of mindset, right? Napoleon Hill actually mentioned this in his book, growth versus fixed mindset. There are those who have such a fixed mindset that they allow what they learned in school, whether it's like high school, college, or whatever, graduate school, these higher institutions, and they also let what society has told them that this is the way things are, right? And that's how they think. Okay, fixed mindset. Okay, okay, I can't do this. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna do something else, right? Whereas growth mindset, we basically take everything that we experience, and we grow, we adapt, right? Okay, well, if we can't do it this way, can we do it a different way? And so we learn basically, and that's how That's how we can win. Okay. Challenges, I mean, can you imagine a life without challenges? Yeah, it'll probably be very easy, right? But it will probably be a society of underachievers if there's no challenges, right? If everything comes so easy, right? Challenges, are there to help us grow. So, those who win are those who embrace challenges. And again, you've heard this probably dozens, if not, more than, 20 times, 30 times, and you've heard it here all the time. Your why fuels your motivation. So never, never lose your why, right? Keep it at the center, right? When you ask yourself, why am I still doing this? You dig down, okay, well, I'm going to retire my wife, in a few years instead of like her still working another 10 years, right? That's one, right? I want to travel to a lot of places that we haven't seen. Whatever your why is, getting healthy, getting your family healthy, right? Never forget it. Keep it at its center. And then, part of challenges is learning how to overcome, rejection and building resilience. Nothing new, right? Nothing new, but again, it keeps coming, right? Rejection is like it's like bread and butter when it comes to our industry, right? You probably get what, I don't know, 10 to 15 no's before you get your first yes, something like that. It really depends. So, the ratio varies, but rejection is not personal. Please always remember rejection is not personal. It's really part of the process. Okay. No means not yet, not never. Okay. It doesn't mean never. It just means not yet or next opportunity, as I would like to call it. NO starts for next opportunity. Every setback is a perfect setup for a comeback. Okay. Read that again. Every setback is a setup for a comeback, right? Because every time you get a setback, that gives you an opportunity to do a comeback, right? I mean, if you look at it that way, then okay, well, it's definitely adapting that mentality where okay, this is a huge setback. I only had one person attend. I invited like 100 people, only one person attended. Like, okay, but what can I learn from this? Okay, let me see. Let me look at how I've been inviting people, or did I follow up enough? Right? Did I remind them enough, or whatever? Right? So every setback is a setup for a comeback because it allows you to learn from what happened and do better next time. Okay. The strongest leaders have faced the most rejection. I was listening to Christine earlier on our huddle, and she mentioned, the successful people like Jeff Bezos and Dell, that you would think, wow, they're so lucky, they're so rich. No, not luck has nothing to do with it. They've faced, tons of hurdles and challenges in order to get to where they're at, right? Starting a business in your garage, right? And building it to a multi-billion global success. It's not luck. It's really hard work and mindset and overcoming any kind of rejection, right? So, daily habits to help us develop a strong mindset. Again, a lot of you have already seen this, but, just a kind of refresher, affirmations and visualizations, right? Um, Speak your success into existence. If you affirm this every day, you visualize this every day, right? Where you want to be, you will manifest it. It's definitely called, it's definitely, it's real. It works. Manifestation does work. You speak your success into existence. Personal development, read, listen, and grow daily. Okay. I read, not as often, not as much as I used to, but that's because we have other sources now. I follow a lot of like mindset, leadership, and like building skill set type of pages on social media. I listen to podcasts, right? Um, so whatever you can do, if you do this, you devote, I don't know, 30 minutes a day. Heck, even 15 minutes a day listening to a podcast. But if you do that daily, you will pick up on ideas, concepts, and skill sets that will help you with your own personal development. Surround yourself with growth-minded people, right? There's this saying, you are the average of the five people that you hang out most, something like that. I'm not sure if I got it, accurately, but you understand the concept, right? Your energy is your environment. That's why we have this community. That's why this huddle, Christine's huddle, like every day, this huddle with George and Adrian's every day. That's why it's here, right? For us to be able to share our experiences, to be able to share, what works, what doesn't work, and all that. And at the end of the day, it's just sometimes to share, what's the word? Common experiences, right? And then sometimes it's as simple as just hearing somebody share something that you went through, or teach or train on something that that may apply to what you're going through, right? That's why we have this community, and that's why we always recommend and strongly encourage whenever you have an event near your area, or within a few hours drive or whatever. For some people, they even fly to an event, and to be close to our leaders and to listen in person to what our what our leaders have to contribute. Samson, Kim, George, Adrian, Christine, there's so many. They hold all these, like, events and all that. Every time you have an opportunity to go, please go, right? Get your team to go. That's why we're doing a run to convention, for June, trying to get everyone fired up and get as many of our team as possible to convention. Okay, action plan and closing takeaways. Okay, so like I said, personal development is such a broad topic. There's so many things you can work on, but even in mindset, right? There's so many things to work on. Commit to one mindset habit this week. Okay, commit to one mindset, whether it's making sure that you do your affirmation and visualization every day, right? Um, whether it's to make sure that you spare, you take 15 to 30 minutes a day on self-improvement, whether it's reading, listening to a podcast, something like that. Commit to one mindset habit this week. Embrace challenges as growth opportunities. Again, make sure you have a growth mindset instead of a fixed mindset, right? When you encounter challenges, hey, what is this teaching me? Instead of like, hey, why, a fixed mindset would say, why is this happening to me? A growth mindset will treat it as like, why is it, what can I learn from this challenge, right? Embrace it as as growth opportunities. Never let a no define your journey, right? Chances are, people who say no to you, right? One way I kind of like put it in perspective, if I have a prospect, I don't know, random prospect or whatever, and I, invite them to an event or show them the opportunity, and they said, you know what, no, that's not for me. Okay, that's fine. one thing that helps me put in perspective, I look at, I kind of assess where they are at in life. Is that person's life my dream life? Okay, is that person's life my dream life? Chances are the answer is no, right? Chances are the answer is no. So you never ever let a no define your journey, right? So as I, we're almost done, but as I wrap it up, call to action. Okay, I'd like people to drop in the chat their biggest takeaway, and if you want to put in how you will strengthen your mindset this week. If everyone can do that, just chime in. That way, everyone else can read it, everyone else can see it, and we can share, right? What really jumped out, and it just kind of uh, might just help somebody in this. Oh yeah, that's very true, and it might help them in their journey. Okay, success starts in your mind. Success starts in your mind. So you believe it, work for it, you will achieve it, right? Believe it, work for it, and you will achieve it. Your breakthrough is on the way. I know mine is. It's just it's just elusive, right? It's just elusive, but I know it's on the way. Okay, I know it's on the way. All right. Yeah, that's just a few hashtags I put on there. Mindset matters, resilience wins, and keep going. Okay, let me, as usual, as I always do, I would like to leave you guys with some powerful motivational quotes regarding mindset. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. This one's very powerful. It really goes to show you how powerful our mind is. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Yeah. If you think you can't do it, that's what you're telling yourself, and that's where you're gonna end up in, right? It's not this one I love, from Albert Einstein, one of the smartest persons probably to walk the earth, right? It's not that I'm so smart. It's coming from Albert Einstein. It's just that I stay with problems longer. So what does that tell you, right? Just keep at it. Just keep at it, right? Tough times never last, but tough people do. That's the main reason why you're still here. That's the main reason why you're still part of this community, right? I'm sure every single person here has already experienced that. Okay, this could be a little tough. Things are not working out so well sometimes, but they never last because tough times never last, but tough people do. That's why you're still here. Our greatest glory is not in never failing, but in rising every time we fall. From Confucius. Again, taking every challenge as an opportunity to grow, right? Every setback is a perfect setup for a comeback, right? So, as long as we keep rising, if you fail 99 times, but you get up 100 times, what does that make you? That makes you a success, right? Regardless of the fact that you failed 99 times, but you got up on the 100th time, then that means you're a success, right? Act as if what you do makes a difference. I love this one when I saw it. Act as if what you do makes a difference. It does. And to me, especially in what we do, especially in this movement that we're part of, this global movement, where we are actually helping people get healthier, what we do makes a difference, right? It may be tough right now. You may not be where you're at as far as your business is concerned, all right? You haven't achieved the rank that you're going for. But regardless of that, your time will come. I know my time will come too. Our time will come. But in the meantime, what we're doing, every little thing we do makes a difference. Whether it changes one person's life, two people, three people, or a whole lot of people, right? You never know, like the one person that you talk to, it changes their life, and then they talk to someone across the globe and it changes that person's life, right? What we do makes a difference. And what lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within, right? What happened in the past and what's going to happen in the future, these are all relative, but what really matters is what's inside, right? When you look back a few years from now, you look back to this day, right? And you're already making your 6-figure, 7-figure income, right? Which is, amazing. It's not really, I mean, yes, it's significant, but it won't be significant enough to compare to with the kind of person you're going to be several years from now. The journey that you were on that develop you from who you are today to who you will be, down the road. So, folks, that's just really short training on mindset. I hope people were able to pick up some nuggets that will help them, or any of the points that were shared, whether it's in the slides or in people's chats. I'm just starting to kind of like go through the chats because I couldn't see it earlier while I was sharing. Hopefully, something jumps out at you and helps you with what you're going through right now. Because I know I can tell you honestly, just giving this training helps me, like reinforces it for me, right? Because I have to be honest, I was like, maybe I should tell George that I'm not really up to it because I wasn't really feeling 100%. But you know what? Nope, nope. I want to do it because as I'm giving the training, I'm actually talking to myself too.
Yeah.
And that's really how I do this. So yeah, yeah. So anyway, feel free to chime in if you guys wanna. We still have just a couple minutes, I think. I pride myself in making sure I end up like a few minutes prior to, so we have a few minutes for like people to chime in and all that. So and we don't go over. So
That
yeah.
was excellent. It was excellent, Nilbert. And I want you to know, everybody, every great success in the world, everyone always self-doubts. And all the great giants of the world have fallen down many times, but the only difference in the winners and the winners get up one more time. I have experienced that. George has experienced it. We look at Kim Wee even as an icon in the industry. And you know what? She mentioned this at our leadership conference that she joined a company, her first networking company, after being laid off at 28 years old. And she went and she thought we was having a job interview, and it was a room full of people. Yeah. And says, boy, a lot of competition. And she joined a company, but that company didn't turn out. And she now had car payments, and she was worried they're going to repossess her car. And she moved in with her friend, a great friend, but she didn't ever give up. She knew the industry worked. She knew it really worked. It just wasn't the right platform. And so then she joined Jeunesse with 5 people, Samson, and I guess many, I don't know, all the 5. But they took that company, then they started over. And she was living in a house with her friend because she couldn't afford her own room. And she had that mindset. She believed in it. And she didn't doubt it. She didn't go back to, oh, I think I'll go back and try to find another accounting job and trade time for money. I guess this didn't really work out. You see, she believed it could be done. And she rode that company up to $14 billion, making $100 million, making $1 million a month, and buying homes and estates and buying property every month. And here she is doing it again on the same pathway. But Even the greatest of all have always had doubts. I can tell you, myself included, George included. We all go through that because we get excited. We want it so bad. We want it, and then things that doesn't work out, or that recruit didn't come in, or that leader that you depended on, that you thought, boy, they're going to really change it. You're going to make your 100,000 this year. Boy, you're going to make your million. Boy, you can see it, and they disappear. And you go, what? And then you have to start over. But when you have that belief, the mindset, like you say, Nilbert, you can't lose as long as you keep your mind in order. And you are a winner, Nilbert. You have every characteristic of a winner. So just know you're normal. And everybody on this call is normal. I get up sometimes, even now, I go, oh man, can I get to 5-star? Wow, I was at 250 cycles, and then I'm going, how am I going to get another 250 cycles? Well, I just don't have enough people yet, I guess. It's not the timing. But I don't stop and say, oh, I self-doubt. I just go, okay, I got to figure this out. I got to find some more leaders. I've just got to get it in motion. That's all it is. You're adjusting just like any business in the world. Any business is vacillating, changing all the time, from the apples, their product lines. They're always shifting, changing with their marketplace. And that is exactly what you're doing here. You're changing and shifting, but always have belief. Always have belief. And I think it's the best industry in the world. And as you said, I said this to our people earlier, it's a $200 billion industry. We built more 6 and 7-figure earners out of this than any other in the world. It's bigger than the NFL and movie industry combined. But guess what? In about 6 to 7 years, it'll be over $400 billion. So what does that mean? People are looking for us. They are out there. The market is there. There will be other companies. There will be people looking. It will double. So don't ever give up. Just keep going, looking for your board of directors. Find those 10 people that'll be with you. Some board of directors may not stay with you. Oh, well, love them, kiss them, release them, move on, and find the next one. You can't self-doubt. You can't do that. Otherwise, the more that you self-doubt yourself, you lose time in moving forward. You just can't do it. And it takes, listen to this, it takes 9 positive thoughts to wipe out 1 negative remark. You can have the best day, and one person says one thing negative, or the person you thought was going to recruit you, you were going to recruit, they say, oh, I wouldn't do that. That MLM, are you crazy? I knew somebody, and oh, and now what do? You go back, and that's all you think about. All day long for the next 2 days, you only think of that one person that said that thing to you. You didn't think about all the other positive things. So the minute you get that negative, you just go on and keep moving to the positive, and then it works. So that's my little take today. Thank you, Nilbert. You did great.
Thank you very much. Yeah, great job. And by the way, it's why one of the reasons you're going to be successful, you're transparent. You're not hiding who you are or anything like that. And by the way, and we know that every breakdown brings a breakthrough.
Mm-hmm.
And every master has been a disaster. And those are the two that come to mind. And
Yes.
we've been disaster many times. And many times we feel that we have an amazing week, and then 2 weeks in a row, nobody's showing to the Zooms and say, what the heck is happening? We have to make sure that it's part of the life, part of the process. It's making us stronger. And again, if we consistent keep doing the stuff that we're supposed to do, we are going to get it. But thank you very much for everybody. By the way, Thursday, we are going to have Samson on the call. Make sure you invite people on Samson.
On this call.
On this call.
On Thursday, Samson Lee will be on. He's going to give some powerful information. Thank you to Lance and Tracy for inviting him on. We really appreciate it. But if you guys want to make sure that your teams all know that we're going to have a special guest, Samson Lee, multi-million-dollar earner.
We have capacity up to 500. So let's fill this room.
All right.
Thank you very much. And like always, this is being recorded, and you can go to, actually, let me put the link really quick on the right side. Okay. And then the YouTube link that you see, this is this call. Okay. Thank you very much, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow. We have an amazing call tomorrow, and then Thursday we have another amazing call. Make sure you have your team here because this is so important to be connected. Thank you very much.
Bye. Have a
Bye.
great day.
See ya. Bye.